this is Nick from 88 Espresso Premium Blend. Please enjoy this video series on how to become a better barista at home. Hi, welcome back. It's Nick here from 88 Espresso Premium Blend. We've extracted our coffee. Coffee's sitting in the cup, ready to go. Now we need to froth the milk. So basically we would get a milk jug, and my sort of general rule of thumb for frothing milk for maybe 2 cups of coffee is to go to the base of the spout. You probably wouldn't want to go any further than that, because when you're steaming the milk, this milk's going to expand because you're putting steam, which has air in it, into that milk. You're frothing the milk and it's going to develop and become higher. If you go too high up here, you're going to spill it over, maybe burn yourself. And it's these little fear factors like the steam wand and heat that scare people when they make coffee at home. So the best thing to do is take the fear element out and put a little bit less milk in there. So you probably want to come in and put maybe that much milk. Once you've frothed, I'll just give you a little bit of understanding of what happens. Once you've frothed, you're going to end up with milk possibly here. You then have 3 different levels of where it is. So you're going to have frothy milk, like as if for a cappuccino, really fluffy. You're going to have milk that sits in the middle. That's milk plus air, which is blended through, and it sort of sits in this middle line. And that's really sort of latte, I suppose, that creamy sort of feel that you get. And then down the bottom is just the rest of the milk. So a bit like a beer or something else like that, where you get a separation from frothy to the foamy to the actual drink. So the same thing happens with a milk jug. And allows you, when you make a coffee at home, to think about what you're going to do. So you might be making a cappuccino and a flat white. So you go, okay, so if I tip, then the fluffy bit goes to the top and the water bit comes to the bottom. So if you're making a flat white, you might put a spoon in, hold the fluffy back, pour the milky one first, and then scoop some for your cappuccino, pour the rest, and you've made both. That's how you can separate in a jug and make a couple of different coffees in one hit. So basically we'll go to about here. Put that down. Have your steam wand on your machine. Always, we call it purging. So always purge your steam wand, because if you've made coffee from the previous one, a little bit always gets sucked up. So when we turn it off, it sort of sucks up a little bit, and sometimes you'll get milk in the wand. So always steam it off. Another thing, and I know this is a fear thing for people because of what happens, but don't be too scared, right? Because steam isn't that hot, all right? So it's okay. It's not a problem. To get that, we want to be flat. We want the tip. We've got this piece here through to this piece here. We want the whole of the tip to be in the milk initially. Have your hand on the jug. It's cold. Once you feel that turn, the water, or the milk, sorry, turn from cold just to warm, then you can angle it a little bit. What the angling does is help to create a swirl. What the swirl does is help to create the foam, place some air in the milk, and then when you get to your desired height, just quickly turn it off, take it off, and then you wipe your wand, repurge it to get the milk out, and then you're set to pour. So we'll just put the milk jug in. Hang on, sorry, I'm a little bit of room. Left-handers, problem. So in we go here. Right, open it right up. It's turning. The milk's, the colour, the temperature's changed a little bit. We'd expect a lot less noise now than at the start, because there's a reaction between the fats and the steam and the heat, which comes, and that's what that sort of squeal is initially. You want to get from there just to that sort of nice, softer, frothing sound, and then you want to get something that resembles coffee that's more denser on the top, but you can feel that it's a little bit more runny underneath, and looks a little bit silky. Now, I've been making coffee for 24 years, and sometimes I still can't get silky right. So don't be stressed about that. When you're drinking, especially our coffee, and when you're drinking it at home, it's not always about how silky it is or the latte art or anything out. It's about the taste. So you really want this to be the right temperature. You should be able to hold that. It should be at somewhere between, depending on your mouth and how hot you like things, anything from 63 up to 70. And if you work in a cafe and people want extra hot, then you can probably even make it to 75. That does affect the milk, which is another story. We can get into that later. But basically we want to do that. What we do is we want to swirl the milk around. So because we had that separation, and I've been talking for a minute, we want to twirl that around and swirl it. And that'll just get it to blend back in. Again, the same thing with the coffee. spin that around so that the crema gets to spread on the sides of the cup. We then want to get any air out. You basically want to just pour on one side, spin it around like this, so that we get it blended through, pour, and then stop. So you end up with a lovely cup of coffee. That one, basically latte. There you go. Thank you.